So you have a low GPA, but you still want to make it to the best universities in the world. I was exactly in your shoes a year ago. I had a GPA of 6.7, but I still managed to make it to ESSEC Business School, the number 5 ranked MIM in the world, and Cornell University, the number 9 ranked MBA in the world, with a GPA of 6.7. And this is how you can do it as well. Before we start, I just want to make one thing very clear. Don't listen to anyone who says your GPA is not important. No one looks at your grades, it's all about your profile. No, your GPA is a part of your profile. And I would say it's one of the most important parts of your profile. If you're still in college, make sure you maintain a high GPA. It's honestly not that hard. Most of the times you have a low GPA only because of laziness. Even if you put minimum effort, attend some classes, don't sleep in your classes, listen to the teacher, you can maintain it. Trust me, do it. It'll make a big difference. But if you're already done with college, whatever, it's too late. What's done is done. Jo ho gaya, so ho gaya. You can't change it now. But what you can do now is make everything else about your profile so good that the admissions committee just cannot say no. Your GPA is just 10 to 20% of your profile. What you need to do is make the rest of the 80% so good that this 20% does not hold you back. If this is the first time you're seeing me, I'm Fazal. I help people make the right decisions about studying abroad. So make sure you subscribe to my channel. It'll be a win-win for the both of us. Okay, so imagine there are two people. One got a 9.7 GPA from lovely professional university, and one got a 7.8 from Delhi University. Who's better? You can't directly say this guy from LPU is better just because he got a 9.7. Some universities give high grades, but some universities give very low grades. This is where standardized tests come in. If there's a standardized test, then everyone, the guy from LPU, the guy from DU, all give the same test. And then based on this score, the admission committee decides who is better. Okay, so now that you know what standardized tests are and why they are useful, listen to this. The best thing you can do if you have a low GPA, and this is what I personally did as well, is get a super high score on a standardized test. GMAT, GRE, IELTS, whatever test you're giving, make sure you do really well on it. Like really well. 98th, 99th percentile. Try to reach those levels. Even if the test isn't compulsory, sometimes the GMAT is optional in some schools. Even if it's optional, make sure you give it and make sure you get a high score. You need to prove to the admissions committee that you can study, that you can sit in front of a book for a long period of time and gain some knowledge, that you have the capability of doing well in academics. I don't care if it takes 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, do whatever you need to do to prepare well and do well in these tests. It's okay, you didn't give 100% in your college, you better give 100% now. Trust me, this is extremely important. And if you want to prepare for the GMAT or the GRE using the same thing I did to get a score in the 98th percentile, I would highly recommend Target Test Prep. TTP does a great job of breaking down complex concepts into very easy to understand missions. The best part is that their course personalizes itself to your strengths and weaknesses to ensure you're studying exactly what you need. You also get performance reports, which will show you exactly what you need to improve on. TTP's practice problems as well were the closest questions which I found to the actual GMAT. And I believe it's the best and only resource you need to prepare for the GMAT. In just 1 month of prep, they helped me score a 750, and you can get started as well with a 5-day free trial. Head to the link in the description and try it to score well on the GMAT or the GRE. There is absolutely no risk. Another way to stand out is by getting work experience, but not just any kind of work experience, really good work experience. Think about it. You need to prove to the admissions committee that you can perform in a challenging environment. If they just look at your GPA, unfortunately, this does not prove that you'll be able to cope up. I'm sorry for being so honest, but it's the truth. But what you can do to prove to them that you'll be able to cope in a challenging environment is by getting good brand names on your CV. Really challenging roles which are hard to get into, like consulting, finance, anything which makes them say, okay, this person has what it takes to perform well in a challenging environment. I can guarantee that if you're able to work for a consulting firm like McKinsey, Bain or BCG, you'll face absolutely no problems if you want to pursue an MBA or a master's abroad. Even if you can't get into these elite companies and roles, no matter what role you're doing, make sure you have some impact doing this role. Maybe you do something big in this role, maybe you get a promotion. All of this will really help you stand out. Even if your course does not require work experience, I would highly advise you to do it just to stand out. Do certifications, but be smart about them. Don't just do any random certification you see. You need to prove to the admissions committee that you're an expert or want to be an expert in one particular field and tailor this to the course you're applying for. If you want to do a course in finance, then do a few finance certifications. Maybe do a level of CA. If you want to do a master's in AI, then do an AI certification. Your goal is to show strong interest and skills in the field you want to study in. If the admissions committee sees that this person has done so many things in this field, he won't face a problem when he's trying to apply for a job, then your grades won't matter as much. And finally, once you've done all these things I've mentioned, and when you're actually sitting down and applying to a university, do this. Every university requires a statement of purpose, where you have to talk about your history, why you want to go to this school, your plans after graduation, etc., etc., etc. Make sure that in your SOP, you address your grades and tell them why they were low. Maybe you were focusing on internships, maybe you were doing a startup of your own, maybe you were really into sports. If they get good logical reasoning as to why you weren't able to score high grades, then they'll at least understand that you were trying to focus on something else, but now you're focused and will do well in their university. The key is to show the admissions committee that your low GPA isn't because of laziness or because you don't have the capacity to score well, but because you wanted to focus on something equally valuable to you. I was personally really into sports during my undergraduate degree, and I was actively trying to become a professional athlete. I would never go to class, and when I went to class, I'd always sleep, but I did all these other things. I had a good standardized test score, I had a good SOP, I had decent work experience, I had a few certifications, and I was able to make it to my target colleges. And I believe that if you do all these things, you can do it as well. As always, thank you so much for watching, and make sure you subscribe. I'll help you make the right decisions about studying abroad, and it'll be a win-win for the both of us.